Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 5, I think it is, of the Esports Report. I am your host, as usual, AJ949 The Rock, also known as No Name. And that yesterday was the end of NALCS first week, their super week. So I'm going to do just a recap of it, some of the most banned champions, most played champions, or commonly played champions, their placings, and some memorable moments. I was looking back at the other video and I just felt it was a little too long going through every match, who won, who lost. So I just felt like I'd keep it nice, short, condensed. So yeah, this week it saw every team play 4 games, and after all that, Cloud9 and Team Solo Mid both came out tied for first with 3 wins, 1 loss. It saw Team Curse, Counterlogic Gaming, Team Dignitas, and Team Coast come out with a 2-2 record, 2 wins, 2 losses, so they're all tied for third. And it saw XDG and Evil Geniuses come out with 1 win, 3 losses, tied for seventh. Some notes, just real quick. Counterlogic Gaming was playing with Hotshot in the mid as a sub, and Link was jungling due to the fact that Dexter was having visa issues, I think it was. So on his return back out of retirement, he didn't do too bad. And also XDG Gaming, formerly known as Team Vulcan, they had a roster swap, kind of, or role swap, where Zuna went into the jungle and Xmithy went into AD carry. So yeah, um, on to some notable games. Um, Basically, one of the biggest and most notable game is Cloud9 versus TSM. First game of the day. Cloud9 decided they were going to pull out Teemo mid, and did High ever use those mushrooms to a great annoyance and great use. Uh, the whole thing with Teemo mid was the mushrooms were there for major objective control. So whatever objective you're trying to get, Dragon, Baron, he'd plant mushrooms over on that side. So therefore, everywhere solo mid went, they were always hitting mushrooms, getting injured, poisoned, slowed. So it was very smart. It was a very smart move by them. Secured them really good objective control. Another notable game is Curse versus XDG, or formerly Team Vulcan. It was a very, very weird comp out of Curse with Pantheon jungle, Karthus top, Akali mid, and it was very offensive. There was no defense really being built out of any of the members, and it snowballed really hard. It started with a double kill mid for Voyboy with Akali, and then from there he just was wrecking face, and it showed that sometimes really a good offense is your best defense, and that was shown very clearly there, that that's how it was. And it was just a lot of long range. You didn't have to be in the fight to do damage type thing. So Karthus would be off split pushing, his ult would come in, Pantheon would ult, and then Voyboy would just clean house. And it was a very, very fun and enjoyable match to watch. Another match, and probably the most and biggest upsetting match, would be Dig managing to beat Cloud9 in reasonable ease, actually. There wasn't a lot of kills on the board for Cloud9, and Dignitas just kind of had their number there. They put High onto Riven, and they Scar basically grabbed Gragas up, and Gragas, if nobody knows, is a counter to Riven mid. Um, so it just basically, Scar just wrecked them. They camped High. He was like 0-6 at one point in the game. It was not going well for him. So yeah, it wasn't very pleasing, but it was definitely amazing to see that Cloud9 still is human and they still can be beat by a team. Um, one of the last matches I want to cover is CLG versus Curse. And for you who have not seen this match, you gotta watch it. Like, you have to. It was amazing. It was a 25-minute game, 4 kills, that's it. And Afremu pulled the greatest blue buff steal I think I've almost ever seen. It was almost better than the tilt over Peacemaker that Sneaky put when Nunu Smite Consume right in between there. For you who don't know what I'm talking about and didn't see the game, Cloud9 versus TSM. There's a point where Odd One was doing Dragon with the team, and in between Smite and Consume, or Consume and Smite, there's a little frame where you can throw like damage at the dragon, and it doesn't like clump. So you get the 1,000 from Consume or whatever it is, and then you get the Smite damage. But there's a little frame in there where you can put a little bit of damage for whoever throws damage at it. And he threw a pilt over Peacemaker right in between there, and he managed to catch the dragon somehow, and it was amazing. It was really fun to watch. But Afremu basically, I Will Dominate had a Gragas mid, and he was doing his blue buff, and Afremu came over with Thresh with powered up auto attack and just kind of stole it away, and it was amazing to watch. And from there, that game just snowballed into CLG having great objective control, and they couldn't do anything curse, and they got smashed pretty hard. It was 4-0 kills, 25-minute game. It was really good. Another note is that I didn't really write down as one of the really cool moments of the game, or the weekend, but Wiz Fusion from Team Coast, he gave up 2 kills early on in the last game versus Evil Geniuses, and he was 0-2 coming into lane, and they still managed to bring it back. So it was pretty nice to see that after going 0-2 in the lane, and he felt like he was doing horrible. He was so down in the dumps. They managed to win. So if you haven't watched the games, go watch it, please. They were really amazing. For some reason, I find they were a lot more interesting than the EU ones. There was a lot more picks that were unorthodox and very weird, but it was still amazing. So again, like I did last time, I'm gonna give you top 5 bans. Kassadin was number 1 at 14 out of the 16 games. Kha'Zix was 8 out of 16, and then Elise, Riven, and LeBlanc were 6 out of the 16 games. And I did it a little differently this time. I didn't do the most banned champions. I took every role in the game, and I put the champions that were most played for that role. So top, it's Mundo, Renekton, and Shyvana, still showing that tanks top are the way to go. Jungle, Elise, Vi, and Olaf, just standard. Mid was Yasuo, Gragas, LeBlanc, but on day 3, the last day of the Super Week, it definitely did see a lot of Riven mid. I think 3 out of the 5 games were Riven mid, so just a little side note there. 80 carries, there was a lot of Jinx, a lot of Lucian, some Caitlyn, and I think there's a couple games with Sivir in there, so those are the main 4, and supports, as usual, Annie, Thresh, Leona. But that's it, guys. Tune in maybe sometime during the week, depending on how much Call of Duty news there is. Call of Duty is kind of being a little boring now, but sometime maybe during the week, if Call of Duty has some big information, I will certainly make a video and report on it. If not, stay tuned, and the next video I will have up will be sometime at the end of the week for a recap of the EU LCS Week 2. Remember, comment, sub, and rate. Thank you. Have a good day.